and welcome back to another episode of I Hate Golf, It's Awesome. My name is Caleb, he is Mark, and we are coming to you from, unsurprisingly, a rainy day at Old English Trail in Florence, South Carolina. Yeah, we finally got a rainy day. You know, we've had maybe a week ago, we finally got some rain after going 6, 7, 8 weeks without rain. We got a little bit of rain about a week ago, and that was kind of a nice boost to hold us over till now we have all the rain we need.
And more coming.
Yeah. We've had a pretty wet and rainy weekend. We're recording this on Monday on Memorial Day. But yeah, the ponds are full. The ponds are full and everything's greening up. So that's a welcome sight. But yeah, how have things been going? I just looked. It was March 16th was the last time we did an episode. So it's been, I don't even know what today is. It's been over 2 months.
Wow.
It's gone by really quick. So how have you been?
Wow. Enjoying the last 2 months, apparently. Been okay. A lot of things going on. You know, it's kind of early season golf and a little stuff that you've been doing on the golf course, trying some things in the golf shop, different activities. So yeah, it's been a really busy time, which is, again, explains 2 months since we've done this.
Yeah. There's definitely been a lot going on, and we've got a lot to kind of talk about today, and talk about kind of what we've been doing for the past 2 months. You know, one of the reasons I wanted to go back and look and see is I couldn't remember if we had the carts the last time we talked, and we were like a week before. I think we recorded on the 16th, and they didn't come until the 24th. So, So yeah, we have the new carts. If you've been out here, you have ridden around in them, you've seen them. We have the GPS in them and the nice premium seats and everything. And what do you think people's kind of response has been to that so far?
Oh my gosh, everyone has enjoyed the carts. It's been a hilarious response. It's like some people are like, I don't know what to do. They've never seen the screen in a car. But even more so than the screen, the GPS and all the information is the seats.
Yeah.
They talk about the seats. It's like driving in a lazy boy.
Yeah.
It really is. It's very, very comfortable. Plus, you know, the lithium carts, battery carts, just totally silent. And on the golf course side, I think they're 400 pounds lighter than the gas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just really nice all the way around for us, for the people playing golf. It's just a really great addition.
Yeah, that was kind of, you know, my thought going into it. And I probably was the one that kind of pushed it across the finish line to get the premium seats. I thought people would really like the GPS and the screens, stuff like that, but I thought really the seats were going to be kind of the wow, because it's something you don't see a lot.
Right.
You know, obviously the higher end places, that's something you see pretty standard, but I can only think of maybe one place I've been where they've had those seats. It's funny, I was just somewhere a week ago, I won't say where, but you know, they have the nice club car, electric, you know, lithium carts and stuff, but they just have the regular seats. And I got in one and it was like, oh yeah, these aren't very comfortable. It's just totally different. It's the one negative you have figured out is the seat is higher. So you need to watch your head when you get in there.
It's like every other morning going into the carts, I start out by hitting my head on the first one because the seat's probably 2 to 3 inches higher. And It's just like, you just get used to, okay, that's the height. And it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Change that. So the last couple of weeks I've started to adapt.
Yeah. The biggest change for me was trying to, you know, instead of having the lever below your legs for the forward and reverse, it's on the dash now. I finally gotten to the point where I don't get in and immediately reach below me. So yeah, but yeah, with, you know, not only with the premium seats for the GPS, you know, like you said, these are the lithium carts, so they're very, very quiet. And, you know, they've got the redesigned dash on there. The thing, you know, you like the most, probably the first thing you noticed was they redesigned the windshield. So it's not a little hinge that
banging
after a couple weeks is just banging around. Yeah. The carts are just, you know, really well done. And if you haven't, you know, been out here to ride around in them. You've probably seen them. We went with the kind of the classic look. We went with the green body color, or with the, I think it's Camillo is the name. It's it's a very rich brown seat, and then the tan tops, which is something that you and I both really like, that you don't see a lot of. Most carts just kind of have the black tops. But I think it kind of really was kind of that classic look that we were going for.
And from the clubhouse perspective, management wise, we have the screen up in the pro shop. When you walk in, you can see where it's busy, where it's crowded. You also see it's like, oh, they know where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, everyone was expecting cart path only today. And we told them, no, it's 90 degrees, just strict 90 degrees. And I was joking with a couple of the groups about, I'm really hoping someone breaks that rule. I can't wait to stop somebody on the golf course.
Yeah, we have, just the amount of kind of data that we can see and the control we have of it. And it's something that I don't do every day. I probably should do it every day, but kind of a couple times a week, we can see we have the screen up in the pro shop where we can see where people are. And it kind of gives us a line of, this person was here at this time, and it's kind of like a dot system. But we can actually go in and look at yesterday's, or I think it's like the end of the day. You can see it's a couple hour delay, but we can see exactly where people drive.
Right.
I mean, to the, very precise.
Right.
So, when people try to go up the right bunker on 3 and then they get stopped and I see the line back up, I can see all that. So yeah, we have a lot of data.
Well, here I get to watch the people try to cut across into the parking lot.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there in the cart and they're looking around. What do I do now? It's like, there's a reverse button right in front of you.
Yeah.
But comes with all that technology, all that luxury, and all that great look they're expensive.
Yeah. 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 You have to pay for all that stuff.
That's why it's like, you usually see one of these at a golf course where you're probably going to pay $70 and up.
Yeah.
But it's just a step we wanted to take as part of our process. And we're very pleased with it. It's just, our encouragement, our hope is, folks, please respect what we're trying to do here.
Mm-hmm.
It is a major investment, and it's because we want to have a really nice place for people to enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, it's the constant fear of, is something going to go wrong? We've been pretty lucky so far, but yeah, just asking people to please just kind of, if you have keys in your pocket, take them out of your pocket, stuff like that, just basic stuff. And, yeah, we have a lot more control. Like you said, people expected it to be cart path today. It's like, we can, we have some areas of the course that, we don't have to go out with ropes and put ropes out everywhere. If we have a wet spot, we can make specific areas or holes, cart path only, and open up the rest. So it does allow us to, I was surprised this morning, with how much rain we got, how dry it was. But, if we have a wet spot here or there, it takes us, a couple minutes in the golf shop to just say, hey, this spot's a little wet. Let's virtually rope this off, and we don't have to go out there and put up big ugly ropes and all that stuff. So, so yeah, it's allowing us to do a lot on our end, and I think it's kind of upping the enjoyment on the course.
And the golfers have been pretty accommodating, and because it's like, if you've played, you now notice when you check in, you put your name and phone number in with that cart that's tagged to you.
Yeah.
Because we just have to control the activity.
Yeah.
When we got here, there was a lot of damage and a lot of damage done. It was ongoing. We can't do that. A golf course, very few golf courses can afford that extra when people aren't protecting the property. Right. So, it's just, the fact is, just about everyone appreciates it.
Yeah.
And they have no problem doing that. So, and speaking of upgrades, you've got big news on the golf course. I don't know if we were talking about that before, or where that was at.
We were kind of announcing what we were going to do, just kind of in the beginning stages of it.
Wow, and we actually did it.
Yeah, and we actually did something. That's amazing. But yeah, in 2 months we went from, we shut down greens 1 and 2 on the north those were greens that were bad for a very, very long time. Specifically, it's kind of everything that we've talked about before, the shade, all the just kind of the bad spots that have been there for forever. We don't have to go through all that again, but those were probably two of the weakest greens on the course, and there was no real way forward without doing something drastic, which is why we brought in Zoysia to resurface them.
And one of the things that was really bad about that is like two of the worst greens on the golf course on two of the best holes.
Yeah.
Which was like,
and
come on.
where you're starting. So
Right.
It's just such an immediate negative. It's like we really wanted to, get the new surfaces down. We chose Zoysia because of the shade, because, it's less disease tolerant. There's all kinds of reasons for why we chose Zoysia. But yeah, it took about in total, I think 6 to 7 weeks, the entire process. And that's kind of, we took a little bit longer of a process because we went ahead and when we started working on them, we just shut them down. There's a way that we could have, still been playing on them if they were in better shape while we were, doing the things that we need to do initially, like spraying to make sure that, all the grass, all the weeds, everything is just completely bare. So then we can go in and strip that. It's like that was the beginning process was about 2 weeks. And I'm saying this because, moving forward with what we talked about of doing it other places, that, the total time of how long it will take to do it will be shorter. But yeah, the first 2 weeks was basically just spray and wait because there's not a lot you can do until that process starts to take.
Right.
And yeah, from there, it was just stripping the surface off. We did kind of like a small till to get, the organic matter and the sand, so much organic matter, which is kind of that black layer that you see. If you look at, the cup, you can see it's just kind of a lot of black there. That's the organic matter that builds up and makes it really hard to grow grass if you're not getting sand through that constantly. So we tilled that up, and it was exactly a month from laying the sod till we opened. So we opened them on Friday. So yeah, basically 4.5 weeks ago, we were out there for a full day. The truck was here with, I think it was, I don't remember how many pallets it was now. I don't know why I can't remember.
Is it 8?
I think it
6 or 8?
was, I think 16.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think it was 16 pallets.
I apparently got here late.
Yeah. Yeah, it was somewhere between 16 and 18 pallets of sod that were here, because it was in total, it was just over 8,000 square feet. So yeah, roughly 500 square feet of pallet. So yeah, I think 16 pallets.
Which you added almost 1,000 square feet
to each green. Yeah. That, one, had kind of shrunk down a little bit. The main area that we were able to expand was kind of, if you're looking at the green, the lower right half, it had kind of crept in so much. And this is something I've talked about before. It's like, if you want to see how much these greens have shrunk over the years, go look at where the irrigation heads are around the green. It's like they're not, some of them, if they're like on a hill, they will be further back, but they're not all supposed to be 15 to 20 feet away from the green. That's not how it works. That's why, an issue that we've had is, our green surrounds will stay wetter because the sprinklers around the green are supposed to hit mostly just the green. So when it's hitting, stuff that's cut at a 1/2 inch, it's going to hold more water than the green is. So yeah, that the number one, the biggest side we were able to expand was that right side, and kind of actually getting grass on the back portion of the green where there hasn't been grass for a long time. So that green sits at about 4,500 square feet right now. And 2, it was tiny. I mean, I think it had gotten down to like close to 2,200 square feet. And it's right about 3,500 right now. So yeah, we were able to add about 1,000 plus square feet to each green.
And it's very noticeable now.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
If you played them before and it's like from the fairway, it's like What happened? How can you miss that green now?
Well, it's like 2 is the one that's really visually bigger when you see it from the fairway, but 1 when you actually get on it, and of course, the first pin I put was all the way on the back on 1. So if you were at the front of that green, you had a very, very long putt. But yeah, when you get on that green, you can see it's like, wow, this is a big green. I think someone had asked me, he's like, so what are the biggest greens out here? I said, well, it's going to be 1 and 2. That's going to be the biggest greens. So yeah, it's just, and there's a lot of reasons for expanding greens. It's something we've talked about before. It's like you look at some of these places that have 10,000 square foot greens or bigger. It's like that's kind of ridiculous in my mind, but by expanding the greens, we can have new pin positions, which will, create less wear on certain aspects of the green. Because if you can only move it around these couple little spots,
Right.
everyone's going to be on those few
Right.
spots. So,
And there's, looking at the greens, there's actually what someone would call on each one or 2 tournament pin
Right.
positions now,
Yeah.
little plateaus, and it's just pretty unique.
yeah. That was something that kind of in the phase, after we stripped away the greens, it was about a week of just kind of shaping with the tractor, with the Sand Pro, just going in there and it's like leveling everything out and, taking a look at it, going in and hand raking some spots to move dirt around a little bit, not to create, giant humps and bumps and stuff like that, but to try to have a good flow throughout the green and make sure that, water's going to move well, that we're not going to have low points where anything's going to pool up or anything like that, but also to have some kind of more flat spots where pin would be a good, position. So that was about, a week of that process. And then after we got the greens down, it was really the rule of thumb with Bermuda is stay off of them for 5 to 7 days. With Zoysia, it's a little bit longer. And I think it was the 9th day before, after laying them, that we really got on and started doing anything. It's mostly just keep it wet, just constantly put water on them. We were running basically every hour. I was running them for between 5 to 10 minutes every hour on the hour. So they were getting kind of, instead of flooding them, just kind of constant moisture to, let them start to take and let the roots start to grow down and stuff like that. So
Well, another big deal was, we spent a week rolling them.
yeah, that was basically the next step. We sanded them out, dragged them in, and then we got the big 1.5 ton roller that we rented and spent a full week just at least twice a day. I was rolling, in 2 directions each time and just getting that amount of weight on them, because the greens roller that we use, it's not designed for putting a lot of weight. It's more about smoothing and the way it rolls with the separate rollers. But, when a green is young, it's like, the first time I took it across them, it was like, wow, this is a major difference, because it's actually starting to compact everything.
Right.
And it was just kind of that immediate, visual improvement. So yeah, that was a full week. And then we, started cutting. So when the sod arrived, it was cut at 1/4 inch. So it's higher than we keep our greens by, like 0.150 to 0.170, somewhere in that range, depending on the season. And they're cut at 250. So, we got them, started cutting them at 250, lowered it down to 230, but didn't want to try to, chase speed just for the sake of chasing speed, because that's really what you're going to see. As they're cut lower, they're going to speed up more. It's like, what we really wanted to do was make sure that they're smooth, that they're rolling true, and that we don't try to rush them, basically, because that's the worst thing you can do. When you try to go too low, you start scalping, it gets weak, it's more disease prone at that point. So really kind of taking it as slow as possible with lowering that height of cut down. So
when you hit into 1 and 2, remember, it's going to be a little slower.
Yeah.
So be aware of that.
they're rolling, well, after all this rain, they might be a little bit slower, but last time I checked them before the rain, they were rolling at like an 8.5, which for greens cut at close to 1/4 inch, just below 1/4 inch, that's pretty good in my mind. And, the numbers that we're seeing as far as the smoothness and the trueness, those are, on par with the, rest of our greens. So that after only being down for a month, that was really, really good to see.
Right.
So yeah, it's, they're going to speed up as time goes. This rain is going to be really, really good because you're going to still see the lines of the sod visually, but as we kind of continue to roll more than we mow, just using the regular greens roller, it's like that's what's really going to smooth it out. And we're going to do some stuff this week that we're going to top dress them again. That'll help to kind of get those sod lines to start to disappear. And after about probably another month, you shouldn't see them as much. So yeah, I mean, we decided to go ahead and open them up on Friday, basically because there wasn't really anything that it was going to stop us from doing. Right. It wasn't going to get in the way of anything. We don't have to, constantly put water on them. We're watering them basically the same way we're watering everything else, and checking that constantly. So yeah, we wanted people to be able to get on them and play them. I know everyone.
Yeah, I think everybody was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, the temporary greens are fine for a little while, and then once you can start to see the green kind of taking shape in front of you, it's like, okay, when are we going to get on it? When are we going to get on it?
Although I did get some comments, boy, it was a lot easier when that pin was out there 100 yards further.
Yeah, it definitely, especially too when you don't have to hit across the creek. Yeah, yeah. That I played on Thursday. We're doing the Skins game on Thursday, and that was the first time I'd played the North 9 in I don't know how long. And it's like I hit a good tee shot on 2, and then I had like a 9-iron into the green, and I hit it, and I realized, and as soon as I hit it, I realized that green runs away from me, and sure enough, went right onto the side of the hill. So yeah, that's a tricky shot, but there is a much bigger target to hit into now. So that's,
and I think everyone is really excited.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we've explained to people, no, they're not perfect.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 4 to 6 week process to get them where we want to. Mm-hmm. But, and everyone's like, who cares? We're on the greens and they're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. In the back of my mind, I'm always thinking it's like, okay, I want these to be as good as possible. But then it's like, I step back and realize these were sod a month ago. It's like, this wasn't a green a month ago.
Well, before that, there was not a whole lot of green on either one.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Visually now, if you were playing the golf course before we did this,
right,
it's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the biggest thing. That's something that we talked about a little bit before, about these are kind of our test plots. We're using them as a test plot. So we are going to take things a little bit slower. That way we don't, rush past something and realize, oh, we should have done this a week ago, or we shouldn't have done this a week ago, or something like that. And, I think that's, I've already learned a lot of things about, okay, this is the timeline of the next time we do this. We should do this on this date instead of,
Right.
something else. So,
right.
So yeah, we're, learning a lot from it, and we're going to kind of continue to learn from it as, this rain is going to be a good test of seeing how do these greens respond after a ton of rain, because that's not something we had. So,
right.
So I know how they react when they're really dry. So that was kind of the terrifying prospect of being in the middle of a drought and laying 2 new greens. It was like, I hope we don't have any irrigation issues. So we made it through all that, which I'm thankful for.
So we've got new carts,
Mm-hmm.
got 2 new greens,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, as I've been telling people, we want to let those go for a couple of months to see how they react, respond,
Right.
because you never know.
Right.
Was it a year ago? We would be the answer.
Well, no, that was
the answer.
Well, no, that
to
was
the answer.
Well, no, that
2
was
years.
3 years.
Was it?
Yeah, that was 3 years ago.
Gosh.
At this point, that was at least 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's like they came out or looked okay for 2 months.
Yeah, until
And
the
then they
fall.
didn't.
Yeah, that was.
They went away.
Yeah, and that's that's the reason. It's like, that's the reason why we're going with this with Zoysia, is because, in the middle of the summer, can these greens look really good? They can, but they're just such a fight in the transitional months that it just makes it so difficult. And that's that's our hope is, Zoysia is going to be the answer. And it's not just a blind stab in the dark. Everyone we've talked to, every single person has said Zoysia is the way to go.
Right.
We've heard it
Even
from
when
everyone.
they started saying it and we were saying, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's the reality of, okay, that will work.
Yeah. It's, we've talked about it before. This wasn't just okay, let's do this. It's like, we've thought about this for a long time.
Well, and it's especially when your goal is that's what we want to do to the golf course long term. Right. So I think that was the big change for us. Do we want to patch 1 or 2 greens with Zoysia?
Right.
It's like, no, it's, if you look around at the greens on the golf course, it's been 30 years, 28 years since they were put down. Yeah. Not a lot was done to them. Right. So it's time to make a transition. Yeah.
Well, and that's not to say that we're not still doing work on the greens around the course. The Tiff Eagle greens, we're still doing a lot of work to those. Even before we got all this rain, they were really kind of starting to respond to the treatments. It's so difficult. Once it starts to get warm, it's like people expect everything to green up and everything to start growing in. And we really hadn't actually been warm until a week ago, 10 days ago, because if it's 90 in the middle of the day, if it's 40 at night, it doesn't matter. It's just going to bake.
It was a pretty bizarre spring with no water and no heat.
Yeah. It's like it would get hot in the sun, but then it would drop down high 40s, low 50s overnight, and grass just isn't going to really start to grow at that point. So, we finally got warm. The humidity is up, getting this rain. It's like the greens just from week to week have really started to kind of explode in growth. It's, you've been, doing the coach one for me, the spring session, and you took them up to the road hole last week. And we were up there again on this Saturday, and it's like I said to you, it's like, look at the difference in that green. It's like, and that's always one of the better greens, but really just the difference in week to week, it's dramatic. Right. And it's mostly just heat.
I've had people come in and say, what did you do to the tees? Yeah. Warm weather and water.
Yeah. It's just a little bit of fertilizer, but it's
someone asked me yesterday, did you paint the putting green?
Yeah. Nope. It's just finally starting to grow. And that's, what I said about we're still doing stuff. It's like I'm kind of taking more of a slow approach with things. We've always aerified, quicker than a lot of other places in this area. We've kind of followed more of the Florida schedule of when people aerify. But I think especially with our weather for this year, we're going to push, pulling cores back until later, maybe June, July, just kind of see what the weather does. But what we have done instead of that is we have been solid tining. So instead of pulling a core out of the green, it's the size of like a Sharpie. And what it does is it lets the greens basically breathe. We've done that with sand. We've done it without sand, and we're getting ready to do that again this week. The best part about that from the playing perspective is you can't really tell. On a thick part of the green, you can hardly tell after we, solid time them and then roll them once or twice. It really has
it doesn't
very
affect
little
play at all.
Yeah, it really has very little disruption visually or playability. So, keeping sand on them, that's something that you always see. It'll slow them down a little bit, but if we have all this rain, it washes in pretty quickly. Right. So, and that just, that helps with low spots, evening out. It'll help, it'll help with the roll in the long term a lot more. So that's something we're going to kind of continue to do to all the greens. We won't do any kind of major treatments to 1 and 2 for quite a while. We'll just kind of continue to top dress those with like a light dusting, basically. So
good. So as far as events and activities, we're trying to be more scheduled. We still have the Tuesday night scramble.
Yep, 5:30.
We have the Saturday morning scramble.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. They're both 9 holes. Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. The guys play the 9, and a lot of them go ahead and finish up and play the South 5. So they have the option to do that. We have...
And there has been a little bit of confusion with that. I think people see Saturday Scramble and they think, oh, they have a big tournament. It's not.
Tee times.
We have tee times blocked off for like a half hour. You can play before or after, and there's no disruption to the regular tee sheet.
Yeah,
it's just a different option to play if you want to.
It's basically nothing more than taking 3 or 4 tee times and
that's
playing in that window. So yeah, I know I've had a couple of comments. Oh, you have a scramble. I can't. It's like, no, you would never know we're having a scramble if you're a player.
Right.
You move the Friday night walk to Thursday night, and it's a skins game now.
Yeah.
Everybody throws $5 in you and you can ride, you know, now that we have heat and you're playing 9 holes.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the Friday night walk, that was really good in kind of when we only had a little bit of time. When we started that in the spring and the weather was a lot better, it was good to get out there and just kind of start your week that way. And we'll probably switch back to that in the fall once we start to lose daylight. But yeah, for the remainder of the summer, it's going to be the Thursday night skins game, and like you said, $5 for the skin, and
anyone can play. Whatever your fees are, if you're not a member, if you're a member, whatever your fees are, whatever you do.
It's just your regular 9-hole rate plus $5 for the skins, and that starts at 5:30 as well. And I'm finishing up with the early coach one for me, Saturdays at noon. We've released a schedule for our summer session for June and July. All that sign up information is on social media and on the website and everything. Or the easiest way to sign up for it is just call the pro shop. You can send us an email if you want, but calling the pro shop, you're going to more than likely you're going to talk to one of us. So that's usually the easiest way to do it. So,
and I've scheduled a adult ladies free golf clinic. I think it's the 9th. If that's a Tuesday.
I can't reach my head around it far enough to look at the board.
Tuesday the 9th, I believe.
Okay.
And again, that'll be on social media.
Yeah. All of our events, you know, the scramble, skins game, the coach one for me stuff, any kind of stuff, it's all just at oetgc.com/events. All of that's on there. I actually just made that today because I wanted to be able to say it. So that's the easiest way to see the calendar. And, you know, if we're going to have anything going on, like we're going to be closed this Wednesday, the 27th. I had to look at what day today was. We're going to be closed all day on Wednesday the 27th. If there's anything like that going on there, it'll be on social media. It'll be on the calendar on the website. We always put that stuff in. If you're not, I try to stay on top of sending out emails for stuff like that, so you can sign up for the emails if you don't want to have to go to the website.
And the other a couple of other mentions is, you know, obviously we're now promoting our membership. And we think it's a tremendous value. If you look at the price of membership and what you're getting, it's like crazy. But again, we're getting to where we want to be. So we're satisfied with it. So we think we can really offer true value to a golfer, someone that wants to play golf and enjoy it, have a nice place. So all that, again, information that's on the website, even all the information there. And in fact, you can sign up right through the website and get a response. The other big deal is with the new carts, we are promoting whole sponsorship for local businesses. We already have 3 or 4 local small businesses who've signed up, and it's a pretty cool thing with with the screen in the cart. You know, you get the promotion there, you get some golf along with it. So again, we always try to create value with what we offer. It's like membership and the sponsorship. It's like we're not really twisting arms to do that. If you look at it and say membership, if you look at it and you play golf, how can you not do it?
Well, it's like, for $100, you can play and practice as much as you want. I mean, that's the basics of it. It's like, sure, it's like if you want to take a cart every time, you're going to pay the cart fee and stuff like that. But you can legitimately play and practice. Legitimately, I have trouble with that word. Legitimately,
syllables.
Play and practice.
And it's late.
Play and practice as much as you want for $100 a month. It's like, if I had time, that would be a no-brainer.
Well, that's the other thing is people understanding the practice hole and what that's about. It's not about just going up and playing that hole.
Yeah.
It's about dropping 3 or 4 balls from different places on that hole, 150 or out in the rough 100 yards or back 200 or around the green or putting out of the trap. It's to practice playing a hole instead of just pounding golf balls or playing a hole over and over.
Yeah. Well, and it's like something I don't know why, I've always been really good at hitting the ball when it's above my feet, but I am terrible when the ball is below my feet. I mean, I'm lucky to make contact. It is truly ugly to watch. And that's somewhere you can go and you can actually practice that.
Practice it to get ugly.
Yeah, because you know, you can't really do that on a driving range. You know, you can, if you go up on the side of the hill on the driving range, you're probably going to be asked to leave. But if you want to go up on the practice hole and practice with the ball above your feet or the ball below your feet or any kind of shot that you're actually going to hit on a golf course.
Especially now that we have the camera and the microphone on the range, we can actually say, please stop doing that.
I have turned the alarm on a few times. That was a little bit enjoyable, but yeah, it's just, and sure, if you want to go up and this kind of falls back on me. I've been bad about promoting it. There's a lot of grass to cut. We have grass growing now, so there's a lot to cut. I'm going to try to find time to actually do a video about the ways that you can use the practice hole. But if you want to go up and you just want to play the hole 10 times, you can do that. You don't have to do that. I wouldn't recommend doing it. I would recommend actually going up there and working on shots that you're struggling with or shots that you don't think you've hit enough of, you know, just in your round, and learning how to actually play golf instead of just hitting a golf ball. You know, that's, to me, that's the biggest benefit.
Right. Yeah, that's what I've preached, is that's the kind of practice that actually improves your score.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
instead of coming to the driving range and hitting a bag of golf balls with your driver.
Well, and it's like we were standing up there around the green for one of the Saturday Coach One For Me sessions, and it's like I said to you, it's like I wouldn't do anything else. It's like you said, I wouldn't play golf. It's like just chipping around the green and trying different shots that you might hit once around or twice around. But when you can't hit that shot, it really hurts your score because you don't hit it very often.
Well, and that's why I've been trying to take the juniors up there. Mm-hmm. They experience actually what's expected on a shot and the results they need, instead of just hitting a golf ball left or right 30 yards on a range and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, I think, you know, the value in the membership is great as far as actually just getting out and playing golf, and especially if you're a walker, it's a no-brainer. But to me, the real value is in the road hole and being able to go up there and just practice as much as you want. That's where I see the value, and that's something we are going to start to promote more.
Right, so. And it's the same way I feel about the whole sponsorship. If you look at what you get, it's like, and actually we committed. It's our effort to reach into the community and connect with other small businesses, you know, that play golf or want to play golf or have some people that play golf.
Right.
It's really a great opportunity. And it's like, we want to get to know you and we want you to enjoy the facility, and it helps us promote you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's, you know, it's not like watching an unskippable ad. It's like you see it when you're going from hole to hole, and then it's in the lower part of the screen when you're on the hole. It's, you know, there's a way that you can do it kind of on the back end where you can make it kind of what I would consider to be a little bit annoying. And we don't want to do that, because once people see that, they're just going to get annoyed with it.
Right.
But it's a way for us to, you know, show that, you know, this is another small business here in Florence that's supporting us. Now you go and support them.
Right.
That's kind of the relationship we want to have. And that's why, you know, I didn't call it a sponsorship, actually. If you were to look at the language that I put out, it's our whole partner program.
Dang, I missed it. Shows you how much I get to use a cart.
Yeah. I barely get to use our carts, and they're so nice, but you get to pull them out every day. So that's,
But I never take them far enough to actually see the hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we've already been talking about members and golfers, explaining, it's like, you know, when something comes up, we'll tell them about the business.
Yeah.
And it's like, go support them.
Yeah, absolutely. So So yeah, I don't know. It feels like we've done a lot more things in 2 months, but I think we kind of covered the basics, everything. We got the new carts, talked about greens 1 and 2. The question that, people have been inevitably asking is like, okay, when are you going to do the next ones? What are you going to do the next ones? And like we talked about, we want to take this process slow because we want to make sure if there are any
I
hiccups,
typically just say, shut up.
it's a good thing you talk to people all day. But no, we do want to take this process slow so that we can, eventually there's going to be a hiccup here or there. That's just how it happens.
Oh, that just made me nervous.
And it's learning to minimize any potential so we can know moving forward instead of just, okay, let's do all of it. We want to take this process slow, learn everything that we have to learn. Luckily to this point, there haven't been any issues.
And we did it all in-house.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. We did it all in-house.
When you saw the price of someone else coming in to do it, you'd know why.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, that was a lot of money. It was a lot of money the way we did it too, but
actually felt like maybe we should go into that business.
Yeah. We're on the wrong end of the golf business. Yeah. That's for sure. But yeah, that's moving forward. We already kind of have some ideas, but we want to take this process slow.
Yeah. And it's our effort to make the golf course more and more enjoyable, where you can have a place you can go enjoy it, whether you're serious or whether you're just casual. It's like a place where it's like, oh, that's, it's nice and relaxed. It's a great place to go. We can have some fun, and we play a really, really good golf course. And, it's just, that's where it's at. That's where we're trying to get to.
Yep. We talked about, the events that we have. We've got something right now. We've got something on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. We've got 2 things on Saturdays right now. And
the other thing, the membership too, is I'm not going to go through the list, but I've already scheduled members knockout tournament for next month.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start trying to figure out what day to do it in the evening. Free lesson day for members, where I spend an hour and a half. You come in for 15 minutes and I'm going to show you something that you need to work on to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can go up to the road hole and practice it all you want. It works out perfect. So yeah, I think we hit the major things that we've done. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting, but we'll get some more rain soon and we can do another one of these in 2 months. So, so I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you for watching another episode of I Hate Golf. It's awesome. We will see you next time.